So folks, BattleBit's month 1 content update dropped today, and with it, bringing a new Capture the Flag game mode to the game, and a rework of the multi-islands map. Now, it may not sound like a lot, but BattleBit is trying to break new ground with its take on Capture the Flag by making it a 250 player game mode. Does it work? G'day there once again viewers, your mate Kamikaze78 here, and today we are going over everything you need to know about BattleBit's latest update. Alright, so at the time of writing this video, I've had a couple of matches on Capture the Flag in the 254 player configuration, and I've got to say that my first impressions landed exactly where I thought they would. I had a lot of fun with the game mode, and I think it's a nice change of pace from Conquest, but by golly, is it far from the tactical and calculated experience that one would expect from a traditional Capture the Flag game mode. Having 254 players fight over literally one objective per team is, gonna turn out exactly how you would expect it to do so. It's a chaotic shit show, and more often than not, is won by the team who has the most amount of players in the right place at the right time. And as a result, the mode can feel quite steamrolly. Capture the Flag is a mode by design, even at smaller player counts, that can feel as though one team gets steamrolled quite quickly if they can't get into a rhythm. With BattleBit and its 254 player servers, that size only goes to exacerbate that feeling from time to time. There'll feel like times where the enemy just has a perfect run that is impossible to catch up to, and at other times, two flag runners with an entourage of players following them will clash into some of the most heated firefights that you'll see in this game. And that entourage comment, yeah, that's pretty legit here. A flag runner will quickly attract a following of lemmings like a bunch of moths to a lamp, and the results are pretty funny, I must be honest. This is actually kind of fun. Move, move, move! Move with him, move with him!
Go! Stop that motherfucker!
I think we all just stand here.
One rocket.
Oh,
One rocket, bro.
Yeah, one rocket and we're all fucked.
One machine gun.
No.
One
Get the flag, go. Run, mate, run! Go, boys, go!
Stop this motherfucker!
Get him home!
Escort this bomberclat general.
And much like traditional Capture the Flag modes that we've seen in other games, you need your own flag at your home base to capture an enemy's flag. So there's also been some times where I've seen an awkward standoff between two teams who have got their enemy's flag sitting at their home base, unable to capture it. So the dynamic of leaving enough people behind to defend while having a strong assaulting force is definitely there, and it really captures that sort of Capture the Flag back and forth that you would expect in other games. And that's a fun dynamic to have in BattleBit Remastered. But as fun as it may be, temper your expectations in how much room there is for tactical decision making here. This mode is an absolute marathon, with games sometimes taking upwards of 40 minutes or more to complete just due to the fact that there's a long timer on it, and you can legitimately go 20 minutes without either team scoring a capture. At times, the mode feels grindier and even more like a meat grinder than Frontline at times, which is crazy to think as well. But I also think that is why we're seeing a pretty contrasting response to this game mode by some of the community. It sounds like you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it, very much like the Frontline game mode. In addition, so far I've only seen the mode be playable on Frugus and Tensortown because that's all that was available in the voting pool when the game mode got selected. And this is despite the update's advert graphic highlighting that Isle and Multi-Island were also meant to be playable with the mode at that larger player count. So there might be a small issue at the moment that snuck its way in with the update that's limiting what maps you can play Capture the Flag on currently. But yeah, to loop back for a moment, I actually genuinely enjoyed the mode, and I think it'll be a great way to mix things up every once in a while from, you know, the standard Conquest run that most servers seem to find themselves in. It's definitely classic Capture the Flag mechanically, but boy, it very much plays with a BattleBit flair that we have all come to know and love. And I know that that won't be for everyone as a result. One thing that I did want to highlight though, and I thought that was very well done for the mode, was the UI elements and how it communicated the objectives of the mode and what state they were in. In a lot of places, BattleBit's UI does feel incredibly dated and, you know, indie in its presentation, which is fine. It's an indie game developed by 3 blokes. I don't hold that against them. But the UI elements for the Capture the Flag mode definitely feels leaps and bounds ahead of the standard that we've seen elsewhere in the game to this this date, and I kind of hope that that reflects the future of the game's UI design going forward, and maybe some additional improvements that we'll see in future updates. Now, the other big item from the update here today was the Multi-Islands map rework, which gave the map a total redesign from the ground up and gave it some new points of interest to direct the map flow over. Firstly, I gotta say the map looks fantastic. It has a very nice visual style to it, and it feels densely populated despite its size. But that does lead me on to my next point here. The size of the map is massive, and with that, the pacing can feel a little slow at times, particularly if a battle ends at a particular objective and you're forced to move on. If you don't have a vehicle, get ready for a long-ass run ahead of you. I did enjoy my time at the points of interest when I was fighting there, and I feel like the enjoyers of slower paced, larger scale maps are gonna love what's on offer here with the map rework, but for a zoomer schmoover player like myself, I found the map to be a little slow at times for me personally. In saying that, I think the rework is definitely a step in the right direction for offering more of a variety to the map design in the game, so a tick from me in that regard. Beyond that, there were a couple of extra bug fixes and quality of life improvements made in the update, but I won't go through all of those in the video here. There's a link in the description down below for those who want to check that out for themselves. But I must say, within the patch notes, I was genuinely shocked to see no weapon balancing changes made in the update. But, well, here we are. Vector lovers rejoice, you have a little longer to abuse your baby in its current state. But folks, I did also want to talk about a couple of the developers' up-and-coming priorities in this video, now that the update is out there and in the wild. Firstly, community servers remain of the highest priority here, with the developers sharing some configurations that you can expect to see from community servers should the admins choose to host them. These configs include sniper-only servers, pistol-only servers, more competitive hardcore-style servers, more arcade-style, less milsim-style servers, flight school servers, Ace of Spades-style voxel servers, which is something that's actually been tested and is ready for implementation already, believe it or not, clan servers, and much more according to the admin's preferences. It really does sound like there's going to be a lot of customization with these community servers, which is great to see, and I'm sure that in the long run, these community servers will very much underpin that sense of community that remains for BattleBit long into its future. Kind of like how the custom servers for Battlefield once upon a time did a very similar thing. I'm also somewhat curious to know as to what this more arcade-style experience looks like for BattleBit, but that will have to wait for another day. Speaking of experiences, the developers also want to look into a King of the Hill game mode for BattleBit, which, I'll be real, sounds pretty cool to me, and they also want to continue working and refining on the frontline game mode for future updates as well. What exactly those refinements are going to look like is yet to be confirmed, so we shall also wait with bated breath there. Larry also mentioned in the latest development stream that they had originally planned to release a new weapon to the game every week since the launch, but that is yet to happen. It does tell us though that some weapons are potentially ready, and we may see some new additions to the arsenal of the game very soon, which for someone who likes to review these weapons for content is some damn good news for me. We also know that the vehicle rework is making sturdy progress under Larry's wing as well, so it's all steam ahead on the content side of things for the game's future for sure. One last thing that Larry also took a moment to mention and sort of pitch to the community was the idea of implementing charity-based skins for certain weapons in the game that people could, say, support a certain charity through and unlock an in-game skin for their troubles. While the developers are not very keen on using microtransactions to fund the game, they are more than welcome to using their game for good causes, and Larry is certainly open to working with select charities to facilitate some movement for good while using BattleBit as the catalyst for that movement for good. The community was very open to this idea, and the first charity that Larry is seeking to potentially work alongside is Make-A-Wish, which is a fantastic organization. And with that in mind, folks, just to drop a little teaser for those of you who have made it this far into the video, we may or may not be doing a charity campaign very, very soon here on the channel and over on Twitch, but we also may be getting the BattleBit developers involved as well in a similar light. But I will announce those details in due time when I can. But folks, with all of that said, that is everything I wanted to talk about in this video. But now I want to hear from you guys in the comment section down below. What are your thoughts on the latest update to BattleBit Remastered? Do you like Capture the Flag? Do you like the Multi-Islands rework? Or is the update a total flop for you? Let me know down below. While you're down there, be sure to like the video as it does go a long way to supporting the channel. And if you're new here, consider subscribing whilst you're at it for a ton more content here on the channel. As always, also recommend checking out my Twitch and other social medias linked down below. Once again, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Peace out, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Take care, guys. Have a good one.